30 for 30 when I shoot, 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 shoot. Man, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to be reacting to Boosie arrested for cracking club security with Hookah. Man, when I saw this, first thing I said is, I hope this ain't true. I know Boosie just beat the Fed case, the gun charge. Well, yeah, he beat it. I think he got probation or something. He was looking at time. Y'all know what he been through. I hope he ain't crash out on some bullshit like this, but let's see what Buddy talking about.
Boosie is having one of the worst starts to summer 2026, as he's now been arrested for an aggravated assault after hitting a club security guard with a hookah, breaking the glass over the guy's head. And apparently this whole thing went down while he's on federal probation, federal supervision from that federal gun case he caught. And to be honest, it just seems since the
I just said that, like, buddy, you know what's at risk. Like, you was fucking praying to beat that Fed case, so to crash out.
whole thing happened with Vlad TV and the interviews being cut off, everything's just been downhill. All over Instagram, from Say Cheese to No Jumper, Boosie now faces aggravated assault charge.
And his shit ain't start going down ever since that Vlad shit, nigga. It's just a unfortunate situation that happened. I don't think this happened because of the Vlad situation. Like the Vlad, I'm pretty sure 25,000 an interview, cool, but I'm pretty sure he knows he's not missing out on no money because he did it for a reason. Like the fuck?
After allegedly hitting a security guard in the head with a glass hookah. Now for Memorial Weekend, Boosie was booked to host at Club Dome. Now Dome is, I believe, downtown Houston, and the club looks pretty upscale, if I'm being honest. This doesn't really look like the
It's crazy because I saw when they was promoting this shit, the Memorial Day party.
type of club that's gonna play Set It Off or really any other of Boosie's hits, because that's more like street music. He's a street rapper.
No, 1090. You better do your research. You'll be surprised how many white people loves Boosie's music, and especially down south. You being in Florida, you should know that. They be rocking. They know all the motherfucking songs by Boosie, bro. It's not just street music. That them shits expand beyond just the streets, brother. That's why he able to still get money doing shows.
And the fact that he was not only hosting, but he cracked a security guard's head here, I'm not even surprised that he's in jail. But according to the paperwork, he's been hit with a felony charge of aggravated assault. On Saturday, May 24th, 2026, the complainant, Mr. Edward Iglehart, employed as a security guard at the nightclub, stated he was assisting with clearing patrons from the establishment due to closing. Mr. Iglehart stated that while escorting patrons out of the nightclub, an unknown female approached him and requested to use the restroom. He advised the female that the restroom facilities were closed because the establishment was no longer open. Now, if you've been a nightclub connoisseur like myself, you know once the lights get turned on, everybody gotta go. They're not really sparing anyone. They're trying to get everybody out. They don't want people lingering.
I really don't like being in the club when the lights come on. I'm trying to leave before that. Homies be trying to stay and I'm trying to leave before the lights come on. That's just me personally.
In the bathrooms, they don't want people rushing to go do this and that. If you had to pee, you should have just handled that while the club was open. But once it's closing time, whoever was friendly with you 3 minutes prior, they're not friendly with you now. They want to go home. They're tired of your shit. The smile was a facade. They want you to leave. According to the security guard, the female became upset and intentionally struck him in the face with her elbow. The security guard stated he then began escorting the female out of the establishment. While escorting her towards the exit, the female dropped her phone and keys on the floor. Security stated that as he bent down to retrieve the female's belongings, he suddenly felt an object strike the top of his head, causing immediate pain and injury. He said that when he turned around, he observed blood.
That's funny. Even if it wasn't that bad of an injury, they're gonna make it worse than what it is. Boosie just hit me in a fucking lawsuit. Automatically lawsuit, nigga. Boosie just hit me in the back of the head. Like, that's why niggas gotta think before they do stuff. People be under the influence and shit like that. Gotta keep people around you to watch it back and shit. That shouldn't have happened because she couldn't use the bathroom. It's crazy.
Running down his face and observed the defendant, Boosie, holding a broken glass hookah base in his hand. He believes the defendant struck him with the broken hookah base, causing the injury to his head. As a result of the assault, he was transported to St. Joseph's Hospital for medical treatment, where he received 8 staples.
And I seen this many a times. They're saying, oh, he tried to escort her out. I know how security do getting people out the club. He probably yoked her up a little bit. He got hit in the face. He probably was a little aggressive with her. And that's probably Boosie Bay mom. And he probably was like, oh, nah, he bugging as just being a street nigga, not thinking or whatever. But he probably was a little rough. This right here ain't giving the whole picture. If it's security footage, we'll see that. But I'm pretty sure it was a little bit rougher than how they explaining it.
Staples to his head. He said he was experiencing pain from the injury and wished to pursue criminal charges against the defendant. Now, this isn't a light case. He's accusing Boosie of cracking him in the head with a glass hookah. It split him, an immediate laceration, and he had to get 8 staples to shut that wound. This is actually bad. This isn't a little thing. This isn't like you just swung on somebody. No, dude's head got cracked open. Blood was probably all over the place, which there's gonna be pictures and evidence of this. And he had to get 8 staple stitches. I remember I had to get 2 stitches in my leg, and I think it came out to like almost $3,000, $2,000, some crazy shit, right? The price was crazy. So this guy's gonna—
that's why you gotta have health insurance. Get that health insurance if you ain't got none.
Get hit with that bill on top of what happened, and he's gonna be coming straight after Boosie. Victor Childs, another security guard at the nightclub, stated he witnessed the incident involving the complainant and the defendant. Mr. Childs stated that he was assisting the complainant, the security guard, with escorting the unknown female out of the establishment. He said after the female dropped her belongings and the other security guard bent down to retrieve, he suddenly heard the sound of glass shattering. He stated that immediately after hearing the glass break, he observed blood, later determined to be the complainant's blood, disperse onto the floor and surrounding area along with fragments of the hookah. Mr. Childs stated that when he turned towards the disturbance, he observed the defendant, Boosie, holding a broken glass hookah base in his hand while yelling at the complainant. The complainant and witness both identified the defendant by his stage name, Boosie Badass, by pointing at his picture on the big screen inside the club. Both the complainant and witness also stated that he was the host for the club. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but here's my thing.
The whole thing is fucked up, but how I think it went for real is she probably went off to go use the bathroom while Boosie was doing something by the table. That's probably why he had the access to the hookah. The situation got bad. He probably just seen niggas throwing his BM out of the club. I don't even know if it was BM. A woman out of the club, whoever he was with, aggressively, because if you know, security gets super fucking aggressive when they throwing people out, especially if you're not doing what they want you to do. I seen it a million times. Boosie probably was like, what the fuck is going on? And didn't try to break it up and see what's going on, just going off impulse and crack the nigga in the head. I'm telling you, that's how it went. I'm telling you, because I don't think Boosie would just crash out like that. I hope not.
Breaking down what we've read so far. You hear a sound, you turn, you see Boosie yelling with a broken hookah in his hand, and dude's shit split wide open, there's hookah all over the floor, right? You're gonna assume Boosie did it. But the guy that got hit in the head didn't see Boosie do it. And the so-called witness also clarified he didn't see Boosie do it. They were focused on the female. He heard a disturbance and turned and saw Boosie with the hookah. Now, who's to say that Boosie doesn't have Spider-Man-like reflexes and he just and grabbed the hookah base off the floor after someone else cracked him with it? Who's to say Boosie's homeboy didn't crack dude in the head and Boosie took the base to stop his homeboy from repeatedly cracking him in the head? We don't know. I'm just saying unbiasedly at this point.
That's a fact. If they ain't see nothing, the story can go either way you want it to go.
These two guys, neither one of them witnessed Boosie actually strike him. They just saw the aftermath. Now, the victim was a marked security guard wearing a black collar shirt that read security. The police observed the laceration located on the top of his head and blood all over his head. We were later informed by club promoters and club owners that the female involved in this incident is Boosie's niece, They successfully ID'd the defendant by typing his stage name in a
Okay, so it wasn't his baby mom. Like I said, I was saying BM because that's what I thought, but it wasn't. It was his niece, so we got that clear.
Google and provided his full name and date of birth. The police were then able to successfully identify Boosie. Now, there's countless videos on the internet of Boosie not playing about females. I mean, there was even one video where Boosie was telling the guy, hey, talk to me like that. And you can see Boosie's homeboy in the background getting ready to fire off. So Boosie doesn't play about the women. He defends the women.
I'm a man. You're not gonna talk to me like I will beat the fuck out you.
It's okay.
You talk, I will beat your ass. Well, that's fine. You ain't gonna talk to her like that. I will beat your ass. You talk to me like that.
It's okay.
You're not gonna disrespect no woman like that, bro. Come on, she telling you. Everybody's saying they're sorry. Let her go, bro. She's telling you she's sorry. She's telling you everybody's saying they're sorry, and you still everybody is
See right there, got brass ready to crash out on that guy. Now, if that went wrong and he did that, that's gonna be on Boosie. You probably could have killed that nigga, bro. Like, yo, famous people, people with money, people with influence, whatever it is, y'all need to get the right people around y'all, because this ain't it. Get real security and all that. Boosie's just defending somebody. It's really none of his business. And at your level, you got to kind of mind your business. I get you want to speak for what's right, but you kind of got to mind your business, because situations like this could happen and you got crash outs with you. That old ass man don't need to get hit with brass knuckles and all that. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
But how he handled this was not it. I will say this, if that was Boosie's niece, she should have had priority to use the bathroom. Because when the club lights turn on, if you're a regular person, yeah, you're gonna get escorted out. But if you're somebody with a lot of jewelry, this and that, or if you're somebody that the club knows or hired, like Boosie, they're not gonna force you out. They're gonna let everyone else go out, so you're not moving with the stampede in which you're just bumping shoulders with drunk people. Somebody could try to touch your chain, whatever. Normally they'll let the crowd go and then they'll escort you to your vehicle. You know what I mean? That's what happens when a club is showing love. They've done this for me before. They're gonna bring you to your car, make sure you leave good. The service is gonna be good. Not necessarily because they're worried about something happening to you, but because they wanna make sure nothing happens to you so you continue to come back and spend money. They wanna show hospitality. I'll say this, if his niece felt entitled and decided that, oh, I'm not getting my way, I'm gonna elbow security in his shit, she fucked it up for herself. So she starts getting kicked out. Boosie sees his niece getting kicked out. He ain't going for it, grabs the hookah, bam, fires him up with it, right? Complete crash out. Complete fuck up on his part. Should not have done that. Let your niece crash if she's gonna crash, but you cannot be mad at the response.
Yeah, if he did it, he went off impulse. But like I said, he probably didn't even know the situation and none of that. He just see two big ass security guards throwing out his niece. Well, I don't know what she looks like, but I'm pretty sure she's probably not that big. But like they said, they didn't see him do it, so we can't say that Boosie did it. But if that was the case, like I said, the way it went is probably the way it went for real.
To what she did. If she caused the situation by becoming erratic and striking security with an elbow, at that point, you know, people are gonna be like, oh, I'm riding with her, right or wrong. Okay, gangster, ride with her, right or wrong. Now you locked up, she's not, all because she had a piss. Realistically, this is what happens when you ride out for people that do not value you and put you in a dangerous position, knowing you'll crash out, and then now you're fucked. According to the bond paperwork, for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, Boosie's bond has been set to $85,000, and I believe, looking at a news report, he's already been released. Which isn't that big of a surprise that he would get out, but what the bigger surprise is will the feds step in and put him back in federal custody?
Yeah, because federal probation or parole, anything federal ain't no joke. It ain't like no regular city shit probation. Nah, the feds, they looking for niggas to fuck up and they just trying to lock up anybody with influence. So
Custody.
Hopefully he
Now,
be
this
good.
is Boosie's Fed case from when he got caught with a gun at the music video in California when the dumbass dude was on live and it showed Boosie with a gun in his waistband, right? This was filed January 9th, 2026, and Boosie Torrance Hatch pled guilty to 1 count of being a felon in possession of a firearm. Now, for this, he was sentenced to federal prison for 10 days. He was given time served for the time he'd been locked up already. But part of his release would be federal supervised release for 3 years. This is basically probation for 3 years. This is what the feds do for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. When you catch a Fed case, you get your time and then you get your federal probation, basically, right? And the mandatory conditions: the Boosie must not commit another federal, state, or local crime. The Boosie must not unlawfully possess a controlled substance. The Boosie really must not do any goddamn thing that can be named illegal. Now, his special conditions is submit to a search of person, property, house, residence, office, vehicle, paper, cellular phone, computer, or other electronic communication or data storage devices or media effects
That probation shit is insane. Like,
conducted by a U.S. probation officer or any federal, state, or local law enforcement officer at any time, with or without warrant and with or without reasonable suspicion. What this means right here: any cop can walk up to Boosie and be like, I want to search you. I want to search you. I want to search your car. I want to search your house. I want to search whatever. And they don't need any probable cause to do so because he's on federal super.
I don't think that goes for any police. That might be for his probation officer or any feds. I don't think a police officer just off the streets can do that.
Supervised release. He basically has the rights of an inmate, but in society. In prison, they don't need a warrant to walk up and search you or to search your cell. It's the same shit. So at any time, they can walk up, search him, pat him down, do whatever the fuck they want without a warrant. It also states he would have to complete 300 hours of community service in a program approved by his probation officer. Now, again, looking at his Fed case on Pacer, the last thing was a judgment on the 12th of 2026. Nothing in here is saying that he doesn't have this additional 3 years of supervised release or that it was canceled at any point in time. Which means, because he just caught a new charge, I would expect the feds are gonna pick him up. He's gonna get put in federal custody. He's most likely gonna be transported to have to report to California, and he's gonna get a violation of his supervised release. Boosie could end up back in a federal facility, possibly a federal prison. I don't think that he's gonna
All of that for that one mistake that could fucking trickle down and be some straight bullshit, bro.
immediately just get tossed into prison. No, normally you have to violate multiple times, whatever, but it just depends on how strict they want to be. Boosie is on a federal supervised release and just got an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, cracked somebody's head. They had to receive 8 stitches. Nobody at this point has witnessed him, but I guarantee you somebody actually saw what happened. I guarantee you this is most likely on video. I don't see how it couldn't be. And if that's released, there's not much way he can fight this case. But let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comment section.
That's a fact. Hopefully it ain't what them niggas making it seem. Like I said a few times, what I think it is personally. But Boosie, you're on federal probation. You really got to think before you do shit, bro. You really got blessed with just getting 3 years probation because you was a felon with a weapon. You know how that could have went 10 years, whatever they was trying to give you. But that shit crazy. But hopefully it ain't what it is and Boosie could get through this situation because I don't want to see nobody in jail. But y'all let me know. But make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. It's Mr. 30. I'm out.